Welcome to Adding Dollars. In this video, I'll be going over my weekly update on the highest volatility stocks, so stocks that are paying the highest premiums for covered calls and cash secured puts. Before jumping into this week's scan, if you're new to cash secured puts and covered calls, make sure to check out the videos in the description. Now let's go ahead and jump into this week's high volatility scan. As always, I'm in the Thinkorswim platform and I'm on the scan tab, and I'm going to be scanning the S&P 500. If you want to see me scan a different stock list, feel free to leave that down below in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and click scan, and here we have a list of all the stocks in the S&P 500 sorted with the highest implied volatility at the top and then descending from there. So at the top of the list, we currently have Paramount Global, currently trading at about $13.86 with an implied volatility of about 81%. All of this is after hours data, so some of this may change when the market opens or when this video comes out. But let's go ahead and take a look at the premiums that Paramount is currently paying. I'm going to jump over to the trade tab and we're going to look at Paramount. And I'm going to be looking at the 8 days out options, so options expiring next Friday. And on my option chain here, I have a custom column called percent premium that quickly calculates the percentage profit for selling different options, so both cash secured puts as well as an estimate on covered calls. If you're interested in adding this to your own option chain in Thinkorswim, feel free to check out the link in the description where I have instructions on how you can add this to your own platform. Now let's go ahead and start by looking at cash secured puts. It looks like you can make about 0.79% selling the $12 cash secured put, which means you would collect about $8 for each option contract that you sell. And in this case, if you did end up getting assigned on this cash secured put and had to purchase 100 shares for every option contract that you sell, you would need $1,200 in order to purchase those 100 shares. On the covered call side, you could currently buy 100 shares for about $1,386, and then you could go ahead and sell the $14 call options and collect about $75 in premium, or about 5.54% in just 8 days. I'm going to jump back to the trade tab and we can look at a couple more. Let's go ahead and look at Illumina. It's one that we haven't looked at in a while. Looks like it had earnings on May 2nd. And currently trading at $123.99 with an implied volatility of about 63%. And because it just had earnings, this implied volatility may decrease when the market opens, since earnings have already passed and typically volatility decreases after earnings. But let's go ahead and look at the premiums right now just based off of the after hours data. Let's start by looking at cash secured puts. Looks like you can make about 1.05% trading the 112 cash secured put, which means you would collect about $95 for selling one cash secured put. But if you did get assigned, your risk here is that you would need $11,200 in order to purchase 100 shares. On the covered call side, you could buy 100 shares for about $12,399. And then you could go ahead and sell the 124 call option and collect about $560, or about 4.64%. And again, some of these numbers may look different when the market opens, since earnings did just happen after hours for this stock. Jumping back to the scan tab, let's go ahead and look at one more. Let's try to look at one that maybe doesn't have earnings just to see what that looks like. Let's look at Caesars Entertainment, currently trading at about $35 with an implied volatility of about 49%. We can jump over to the trade tab and go ahead and take a look at the premiums. Again, starting with cash secured puts, it looks like you can make about 1.26% trading the 34 cash secured puts, and this means you would collect about $39 in premium for selling this cash secured put. But the risk here is if you did end up getting assigned, you would need $3,400 in order to purchase 100 shares. And then on the covered call side, you could buy 100 shares right now for $3,514 and then go ahead and sell the $35.50 call options and collect about $72 for selling that, or about 2.17% in just 8 days. Jumping back to the scan tab, feel free to take a look at the full list of S&P 500 stocks sorted by highest implied volatilities. And if you have any questions or comments or want to hear my analysis on any other stocks, feel free to leave that down below in the comments. And if you want to help support the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.